So I want to show you this. One of the big narrative bits that's been coming out around these protests is that white supremacists have been secretly disguised as Black Lives Matter. Well, we have this tweet from Jared Holt, and I must say, if Jared Holt is saying right now there's been no evidence to suggest this is true, it doesn't mean it's not true. I take his word for it. Jared Holt writes for Right Wing Watch. It's part of a progressive advocacy organization, and he writes about the right and from a left perspective. He's very biased, but he's come out and even said, on Tuesday, I asked Richmond police and the Richmond mayor's office to provide information to support the claims they made to this outlet that white supremacists instigated riots in their city. They have not responded to my request. Other outlets have asked for this evidence too, and have similarly come up with nothing. Richmond officials have presented no direct evidence showing white supremacists organized the protest, encouraged violence, or participated in any property damage. Okay. If this guy's job is to write about this stuff, and I think he's biased, but he's saying they've presented no evidence, then I think that's where we're at so far. There's no point in going around with the narrative claiming it's true. Now, Jared, I believe he does go on to say, though, it could be true if they're drafting up indictments. They're not going to release evidence. He says this story quotes a spokesperson for Mayor LeVar Stoney, who said police were still investigating and more arrests were expected.
You know what the problem with this, though? This is the issue. You think a white supremacist, everyone just instantly thinks far right, but far left people can be white supremacists also.
They are.
And they certainly are. I mean, that's what we're seeing.
The challenge is colloquial understanding.
Yeah, they're trying to connect the far right, classic, what they would say a white supremacist. But in reality, they're very much far left white supremacists. And that's kind of what it feels like they're ignoring, because that's what we're seeing. Sure.
And I tweeted about this. I said something like, if Jared is the one saying that they've not got no evidence as of right now, then I take his word for it, because it's literally his beat. If he saw if he saw like a tiny morsel of white supremacy, he'd be like, there it is, I found it. You know what I mean? So if he's not seeing it, but people immediately were like, I thought Antifa were white supremacists, Tim. I'm like, yes. But come on, the colloquial understanding of what they're saying is they're trying to insinuate specific groups of people are dressing up like Antifa to go out and make Antifa look bad. That's the specific claim. If there's no evidence of it, then I'm glad it's being, at least for now, not necessarily debunked, but like stopped. If they're actually going to issue arrests, if they're going to make these claims, they should present evidence before coming out and just saying this nonsense, because it basically makes everybody mad.
I mean, we're asking the media to like present evidence for things that they're claiming. I mean, that had me giggling. Come on, that's pretty funny. Really?
Well, hold on. This is why it's really funny. You'd think the media would be at least one step above a political, like a progressive advocacy organization.
Okay.
But that's why I think it's kind of funny to see Jared Holt, whose whole thing is like reporting on the right, to be like, where's the evidence? And the local media being like, the police said it. There it is. Like, here's the story. Don't you need like 3 confirmed sources before you can publish something as a fact? No. They read headlines saying, white supremacists secretly organizing riots.
Boom.
Says police.
I saw the words on the internet. It's true.
Yep.
It must be true.
It used to be before you published, you had 3 sources to confirm it.
Is that how it used to be, right?
It used to be. Well, I don't want to speak for every single news outlet, but typically, yeah. So it used to be like, if someone told you they saw a brick, hit a cop in the head, you'd be like, what's your name? Can I put you on the record? Then you'd walk to another person. You get 3 sources to confirm. We all saw this. You'd be like, I got 3 people saying it. They're all independent of each other.
Yeah.
And the same was true for basically a bunch of other stories. You can't just, if someone tells you something, you can't be like, well, this guy said it was true, so it is. You'd be like, can independent sources corroborate the claim?
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. The police said it, therefore we report it. And instead of doing any due diligence, they just say, police say. And there's your headline. Police say. They do this all the time with tons of stories. They'll just be like, it's really funny when they have anonymous sources. This is the best part. So it'll be like, anonymous source claims Donald Trump is secretly, putting poison in dog bowls throughout the city of, throughout DC.
Or someone close to Donald Trump says that this is happening.
No. I've got a specific point. They'll say,
go ahead.
An anonymous source claims, Donald Trump threw a brick at the face of his assistant.
Okay.
And you'll be people will read the story and go, whoa. And then you have to imagine how the story was actually sourced. There's a DC beat reporter with a notepad standing in an alley And there's a guy covered in garbage, just going, and Donald Trump, did a backflip off the White House, and then I saw him, he threw a brick, and then he just like walks into a wall, falls down, and he goes, and they're like, he said it, that's confirmed to me. Anonymous source claims. It's like, yes, but is your anonymous source the guy who's drugged out in the alley, freaking out, spouting gibberish?
Yeah.
And what part of that did you leave out? Like before he says Donald Trump is a lizard person who threw a brick at his advisor and then jumped off the building and flew away in outer space, and he cuts off the beginning of the end and just says Donald Trump threw a brick.
Or it was a foam brick, and the advisor was actually playing catch with him.
It was a football.
But, football.
Yeah. They do this stuff all the time.
Right.
It'll be like Donald Trump was throwing objects at his staff earlier today.
No, he was throwing objects at a teenager
in
the White House lawn, they're just throwing catch, playing baseball.
It'll be like the disabled son of a military vet was visiting the White House when Donald Trump began throwing objects at him. And that's the narrative.
Yeah.
And you'll see a photo and he's throwing a baseball and the kid's catching it. It's like kid's in a wheelchair or something. That's how the media rolls, man.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, we got this story here. There apparently are some white supremacists in Portland. That's right. The Wall of Moms are racist. Oregon Live says Portland Wall of Moms crumbles amid online allegations by former partner, Don't Shoot PDX.
Oh, that's the name of the former partner,
Look at this important announcement from Wall of Moms. I'm not going to read this to everybody, but they basically said it's anti-blackness and not to support the Wall of Moms.
Wow.
Wall of Moms, white supremacy confirmed. So all of those
photos. Whoa, I'm sorry, wait. That's only one source, Tim.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're incorrect, good sir. I'm using the Oregon Live, a trusted NewsGuard certified organization. Therefore, what they say is law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't really think the Wall of Moms are a bunch of white supremacists. That's the joke.
Yeah.
But the point is they're being accused of being white supremacists because the only thing these left-wing organizations can do is accuse you of being white supremacist, racist, anti-black, whatever. And so now you get it. Here you go. Congratulations. I don't know what this X is supposed to be. It makes it hard to read. Oh, okay, I see. The Wall of Moms published the statement. They X'd it out and then said, edit for everyone upset about the post. We are not against moms. Everyone has a place in organizing. We are no longer in support of WOM leadership. Anti-blackness. Do not support Wall of Moms. After leaving vulnerable black women downtown after marching. I'm not going to read it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know why?
I'm glad.
You know why? They're immediately trying to drum up racism where there is none.
Yep.
They're having a dispute because I guess someone got kicked off a social media account. So what happens? They say, well, they left people behind. It's like, what are you talking about? Well, it's anti-blackness, they said. Don't support them. They're racist. The lies are finally clear. And we are sad, but ultimately not surprised that anti-blackness showed its ugly head.
What?
Read the...
Hearing them say the lies are finally clear is pretty funny. Come on. Yeah.
What do you do when they're accusing each other of being racist and fighting each other?
Laugh.
The drama unfolding. Lots of us are trying to regroup and do things the right way.
I mean, they do act rather racist. I mean,
they're racists.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest story ever. I'm not surprised though. Look, I'll tell you what. Jared Holt says, so far they haven't released in, I believe it was Richmond, evidence that white supremacists were actually organizing.
Yeah.
Well, I got some new evidence for you.
Oh, goodness.
According to Don't Shoot PDX, the Wall of Moms are engaging in anti-blackness.
That makes them the white supremacists?
Yes, that makes Wall of Moms the white supremacists.
Okay.
Therefore, in, I believe it's this video, you can see the yellow. Those are the white supremacists.
Oh, so they came out last night.
Yeah, they're there. They're in the video.
WOMs.
Yeah,
WOMs.
so you can see some of them. They wear yellow helmets and yellow shirts, and there they are.
It's like wearing a medic. The guys with the medic crosses on there. They're not medics.
Some of them are.
I've seen them in the front pushing at the cops.
So
it's like that's not what a medic does. The medic is in the
on.
back to help people if they get hurt.
There are medics.
Uh-huh.
They wear red crosses.
Okay.
And there are journalists. They wear press.
Yeah.
And Antifa learned how to engage in propagandistic warfare
By doing exactly that.
So they'll pretend to be medics and they'll pretend to be, filmers.
So what
journalists.
you're saying is, I'm right.
Well, you can't make it sound like every single medic is secretly Antifa because there's
Well, that's what you're here for, Tim.
right.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Good teamwork, buddy.
if you
Yeah.
even so in like I'd be willing to bet for the most part if you're on the right, and I've seen this happen, if you're like wearing a Trump hat and you get hit in the head with a brick, one of these medics will come to your aid and they will help you.
Okay.
Straight up. So it's not. However, the problem is you don't know when Antifa is pretending to be a medic and then going, I'm a medic, man, I'm a medic, you can't arrest me. And then they get arrested, and then they say, the police arrested medics and journalists. That's why I get really annoyed by these journalists who scream at the top of their lungs at police. F you, man, F you, you can't do this to me, I'm a journalist. It's like, dude, listen. You're another random person in the crowd. You need to be aware of your surroundings, and you need to know what the police are going to do, when they're going to do it, and stay out of their way. Yep. Yes, you have a right to film and record, but you can't expect a human being to act like a robot with programming being like, beep, boop, boop, it says press. Therefore, sorry, sir, you're free to do whatever you want. Especially when Antifa literally walks around. There's a photo of a guy wearing press on his helmet, waving the Antifa flag. Yeah. He's not a journalist. He has no camera. They do it on purpose. They also put walls of moms in front of them so that when the cops move in, they say, oh, they're attacking the moms.
How dare they?
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do.
Secret police. Oh, wait. It's not his police anymore.
Kate Brown's secret police.
It's the state police.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do.
Oh, what are you going to do,
I
Tim?
am forming an organization.
Oh, goodness.
Called the Weak and Vulnerable Elderly Grandmothers.
Oh, man, I'm a little disappointed. I wanted it to be the Wall of Tims.
Nope.
That
the Weak and Vulnerable Elderly Grandmothers will be the name of our group. It's going to be comprised of a bunch of 25-year-old, very big, burly, right-wing Trump-supporting men. And then when they put on an event celebrating Trump and Antifa shows up, the media will be forced to report Antifa threatens and attacks weak and vulnerable elderly grandmothers. You see how it works?
I do. I like it.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
I love it how they're like, we're anti-fascist, therefore, like, you're dumb if you think that we're actually fascists. And it's like, well, apparently you're authoritarians, and now you're being accused of being white supremacists, so what am I supposed to call you?
It's not a good look.
It's like, they call themselves, like, the good guys, therefore you can never accuse them of wrongdoing. But we're the good guys. It's our name. Duh. Well, there it is. Okay, fine. The weak and vulnerable elderly grandmothers. Antifa beats and chokes weak and vulnerable elderly grandmothers.
Wall of beanies.
Wall of weak and elderly grandmothers. Weak and elderly. All right, well, that's basically Portland. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.